And ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on the Stetson Dogged channel. I figured now would be a pretty cool time to go live because we have actually T-Mobile's president of technology, Neville Ray, going live right now on Reddit answering your questions. So if we actually pull up the Reddit thread right now, you can ask Neville Ray a question on Reddit. The link is in the YouTube video description. I thought it'd be a good idea to create this video to document some of the questions Neville answers, put timestamps in the video once the stream is complete to allow you to jump between the different questions and kind of aggregate information together. And we can learn more about what's going on with T-Mobile 5G and what Neville has to say. So again, this is the Reddit thread. It's linked in the video description if you're interested in asking Neville a question yourself. I'll be rewatching this video and adding timestamps as we answer some of the questions here. But I'm genuinely curious to see what Neville has to say and what we can learn. So he is under the account u/Neville Ray. And let's go ahead and refresh this here and go to comments to see if we can see if Neville's actively answering any comments. It looks like the current, most recent comments are from 2 years ago. So maybe we're still waiting on Neville, but it does say he is live. So hopefully we should be getting some answers pretty soon here. I'm just going to check my camera and mic settings because, yeah, it looks like we're good. We don't need echo cancellation. And yes. So, and I'll give this a tweet out so we can get more people here. But, oh, this is interesting. It looks like Neville is is actually answering questions not under the Neville Ray T-Mobile, but under the actual T-Mobile handle. So let's go through and try and answer some of these questions here. I'll actually open up T-Mobile in a new tab, and hopefully we can, based on the current comments, just go through and get some Q&A going. So yeah, oh man, this is gonna be challenging. Let's go main thread, and yeah, let's do it. Yeah, PA Tech, you got it. It's T-Mobile who's responding, which, why, I don't know. Why put that in there? But let me tweet this out and then go ahead and start answering some of Neville's questions that he's answering. So I'm live right now. Boom, there's the link. Let's slap a thumbnail in there. Here we go. So we got first question. Thank you, PA Tech. Out of the 50,000 small cells in the guided plan, will any of them be 5G ready, or are you testing N41 on small cells? So it sounds like T-Mobile is planning to roll out small cells. This is something Dennis has been talking about. And this user is asking if they will be 5G ready with N41. Neville says, we have the largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network today. We've got 308 million covered with extended range 5G and 200 million covered population covered pop with ultra capacity 5G. All of this built on our expansive macro network, which is the densest 5G network in the country, and small cells are absolutely part of that. Most are 5G ready, and N41 is being broadly deployed today. I feel like a little bit of a vague answer. It sounds like there will be some small cells. There will absolutely be small cells part of the T-Mobile network, and most will be 5G ready. The N41 is being broadly deployed today, I feel like is a little bit of a vague answer as to whether or not these small cells will have N41, but I would remain optimistic. All right, what we got next? Techman246. Hi, will the next T-Mobile gateway have an easy way to install external antennas, the ability to band lock for those of us like myself who know what we are doing, the ability to open ports on IPv6, and last but not least, the ability to have pass-through so we can use our own routers to issue internal IPv4 addresses and get IPv6 addresses. Thanks, Dave. Neville says, we're super excited about our in-home broadband products, and we've just announced we've already reached 500,000 customers. So pretty awesome. Congratulations to Neville and the team at T-Mobile. Our Gen 1 product was extremely focused on being easy to use, and now we're looking at how to improve the product to be more flexible. Thanks for the great feedback, and more to come on this. So that is a very kind way of not answering the question at all, but hopefully T-Mobile does take some of this feedback into consideration for customers looking to get more flexibility with the T-Mobile home internet product and set it up in more advanced and personalized customizations. Let's see, here we go. When are you going to take small cells and mmWave seriously? Neville says, we absolutely take mmWave and small cells seriously. We absolutely take mmWave and small cells seriously. Today, we have tens of thousands of small cells across our network, and we've deployed mmWave in multiple cities and key locations like stadiums, traffic hotspots, etc. But it's not how you build a nationwide 5G network that can support mobile applications. Our competitors made the wrong bet. Ooh, spicy, Neville. Our competitors made the wrong bet on mmWave, and now they are course correcting years later and following our low and mid-band strategy for broad coverage. So it sounds like Neville's taken some shots at Verizon and AT&T here with the thread. Did I just lose it? Here we go. Sounds like Neville has taken some shots on Verizon here with mentioning the bet on mmWave and saying it was the wrong bet. So it sounds like T-Mobile is really focused on the low band and mid band 5G coverage, and that mmWave, it's more of a enhancement in the congested areas, the stadiums, the traffic hotspots, and I don't know. It's probably going to be like stadiums and airports is my guess. So it's kind of hard to figure out which one. Here we go. Next question. Hey, what's the biggest impact consumers will feel in 2022 as it relates to 5G? Neville says, today, the smartphone continues to be the killer app for 5G. The smartphone is the killer app for 5G. Okay. And consumers are seeing a major boost in speed and capacity that enables them to do more of everything they love. We've already seen our Magenta Max customers use 35 gigs of data every month and get a whole lot more out of their T-Mobile service. Our connections to people and things are only going to get better as 5G begins powering even more immersive experiences, and I think wearables and specifically eyewear will be one of the first disruptive new product categories coming. So, I don't know. This has a lot to unpack. First, smartphones are the killer app for 5G. I can do everything on my smartphone on 5G that I could do on 4G. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. The boost in speed and capacity, yes, that is 100% there. You can, or at least I feel like I can now do more on my phone. Not more, but I basically get faster speeds and I'm less likely to notice slowdowns on 5G, which I think is good. Second thing here, we're already seeing our Magenta Max customers use 35 gigs of data every month. Guys, Magenta Max is an $85 a month unlimited plan from T-Mobile. If we take a look at Mint Mobile, okay? Mint Mobile, they're doing a promo right now, but forget the promo. Just look at this cost. Unlimited data, not really unlimited. It's actually 35 gigs, but that's the same 35 gigs that Neville was just talking about, and it's $30 a month. You save $55 a month by going with Mint Mobile. That is over $600 per year, okay? For the exact same amount of data, 35 gigs. Just throwing it out there. I think that's really funny. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, next question. What have we got? Oh, is that? I think that's our friend Evan. we'll see, Evan, if Neville answers your question. I'm not even sure how to sort this to get the best responses. Let's do Q&I top new. These are all the new posts. So one will be older. Oh, here we go. We have a question from Hollow29. Can you speak more about voice over NR and what else is next for the 5G network? You had previously suggested that the transition to enable voice over NR would be easier than voice over LTE. However, the timeline doesn't seem too different between the two. In fact, if I recall correctly, LTE launched for T-Mobile in 2013 and voice over LTE in 2014, about 14 months after. 5G NR launched for T-Mobile in 2020, and voice over NR does not seem like it will be here until 2022. Obviously, the pandemic has delayed many things, but it seems odd to an uneducated observer that voice over NR was not ready sooner, given the fiasco that voice over LTE turned into. Also, it might be interesting to hear you address Open RAN and your views on it. If your views on it have evolved since you said a little over a year ago that it would be better to wait and let it mature more fully. So, what does Neville have to say about this voice over NR? We're leading the industry in voice over NR, and we're conducting extensive testing, seeing very promising results. We plan to launch voice over NR as soon as we meet our stringent performance targets. Our number one priority is to ensure an exceptionally high quality service, but at the end of the day, if our customers don't notice they've transitioned to voice over NR, then that's a good thing. The real benefit to voice over NR is evolving our network to a full 5G architecture, removing our dependency on LTE. So it sounds like here for the first part of this question, they want to move over to voice over NR for the higher quality audio, but the bottom line is T-Mobile doesn't want you to notice. They want it to be just a smooth, seamless experience, and to make sure their customers, they make a phone call and it goes through as they would expect. And based on the wording here, it almost sounds like it's not live. We plan to launch voice over NR as soon as we meet our stringent performance targets. I know we had Austin on the podcast, and it sounded like they were enabling voice over NR for some phones. But then, of course, you're calling someone who is on LTE, so maybe it wasn't a true voice over NR experience. Either way, they are hoping to launch voice over NR to remove the dependency on LTE for their network. And of course, we have Neville's comment on Open RAN. We continue to be supportive of Open RAN, but as an industry, there are still aspects to work through, as it's going to take some time for the ecosystem to mature and coalesce. So we'll see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, IA. I will do that now. So this is the UT Mobile tab. Comments. There's probably going to be a bazillion. Yeah. Here we go. Oops. I'll go back. Here we go. Is there any way to open these in a new tab? All right, we're just going to click on it and then go back. Next question coming in. Thank you, IA, for that chat. And also, I'll just cover this super chat quickly. Thank you. Welcome to Raise. I can get over 900 megabits per second download at home, but sometimes things take forever to load with Magenta Max. So what the heck? My Wi-Fi loads work all the time. It's just 400 download. My guess is that it might have to do with network congestion and possibly the technology inside those modems they're using. So hopefully T-Mobile improves those. And thank you again for the support and the super chat. And again, you guys can ask your questions at the link in the video description if you're interested to learn more and ask Neville a question. We have Hideka. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I believe another Patreon supporter / member of the community. So cool you got your question answered. Let's dive in. I'll keep it short and sweet. Do you have any possible ETA on nationwide standalone N41 5G, as well as an ETA on nationwide carrier aggregation for 5G? Neville says, we're on track to begin delivering NR carrier aggregation to more customers by the end of this year. The next phase of NR carrier aggregation will focus on increasing our 2.5 gigahertz midband spectrum beyond 100 megahertz. With the N41 channels of 120 to 140 megahertz, customers will experience a significant boost in throughput. This capability will initially be available to customers with iPhone 13 and will expand to additional devices in Q1. So my guess is you do need that new Snapdragon X60 modem in order to get the carrier aggregation. And I guess my follow-up question would be, how is T-Mobile kind of balancing upgrading the backhaul on some of their cell sites? Because my understanding is, even though they have 100 megahertz of available N41 capacity deployed, if the backhaul of a cell site isn't upgraded to the throughput they need, then you're still not going to be getting the full possible speeds that are capable on N41. So that will be there. And yeah, eDrip, you are 100% correct. The Magenta Max plan is truly unlimited and not capped. I'm just kind of pointing out, like, for $30 a month, you're getting the same amount of data that people are using on Magenta Max. So, like, why pay more if you're not going to need it? It's not for everyone. I don't know. I thought it was humorous. I threw it in there. So let's go to the next question. Where are we? Bounce back. I think it's this one. Oh, I think this is a good question. Interesting to hear how Neville responds to this. What is the practical difference between 5G and 5G ultra capacity? Neville says, we've broken T-Mobile's 5G spectrum into two categories. The low band, which is used to cover rural areas because of the wider range we call extended range 5G, and then mid-band and high-band spectrum that is used for denser areas and has faster speeds and larger capacity is ultra capacity 5G, aka the 5G UC icon you see on some 5G capable devices. This combination has been key to deploying a reliable nationwide 5G network. Seems like each carrier in the US has come up with their own terminology for their 5G service, but that's because we've all invested in different 5G strategies. That said, we all want to forget 5GE. Ooh, taking a stab at AT&T and their fake 5GE network. I like that. It's true. We don't want 5GE. It's good, but like we want real 5G. So what's going on here? Basically, extended range 5G. This is when you just have a standalone 5G icon in your status bar. That is going to be the low band 5G. Not necessarily faster speeds. It's really there for that extra coverage. And it's basically very similar to LTE in performance. When you are connected to 5G ultra capacity, the 5G UC icon you'll see on the iPhone 12, iPhone 13, a lot of Galaxy phones, that is using the mid and high band spectrum, okay? And that's where you're really going to notice the faster speeds and the way better capacity. So that's the difference between the different 5Gs. Here we go. What developing technology are you most excited about? Good question. Neville says, here are a few top of mind. Home internet, using our 5G network to disrupt the status quo for millions of people across the country who for decades have dealt with subpar internet access, and wearables, smart apparel, biometric devices, AR/VR glasses, and headsets, etc. It almost sounds like Neville's kind of teasing like an Apple AR/VR headset, right? Because what do you need for this? I feel like you would need the AR/VR headset to actually be connected. Like you would need a SIM card in the headset. And then the question is like, what are they going to be charging? Is that like another $20 a month add-on? How is this getting added to your plan? And the one thing that I would say, 5G is going to be a disruptor for wearables? How? Like, we already have Apple Watches on LTE. We've had them for years. They don't really do anything. You're only using the network to make a phone call when your phone isn't nearby and maybe stream music. I don't know. I think I respectfully disagree on the wearable section. AR/VR glasses, maybe. I feel like you really need low latency there, and so that might only work in certain locations. But I think home internet's probably the number one use that I'm a big fan of right now. I like what T-Mobile is doing with their home internet product. I like what AT&T doesn't really have one yet, but I like what Verizon is also doing with their home internet product. And I think that's very exciting for me. Actually, funny enough, on that note, we have someone here saying, T-Mobile internet is too slow. I'm going back to Cricket. Their internet is better. I can't even watch streamers, YouTube videos, or even TikTok. With Cricket, I was even able to play online in a game. So that is really funny. Also, thank you so much, Logan's Broke Beats, for the super sticker. Really appreciate your support as we take our time here to dive into the T-Mobile Reddit AMA with Neville Ray. So let's head into the next question. Go back here. So we got, this one is short and sweet, so we'll keep this short and sweet. What is your opinion of internet over low orbit satellites? Do you see a benefit of T-Mobile to partner with someone like Starlink to fill gaps where large cells can't be placed? Neville says, we see satellite services as complementary to our network and continue to explore opportunities. That's a very broad and general statement from Neville. I don't know. My guess is like, I think it would be potentially challenging to integrate a low Earth orbit satellite network with a terrestrial cellular network. I mean, maybe in a very remote location, it could be possible to use Starlink as backhaul to a tower site, but the capacity, performance, latency, everything involved with that, I think would be slow. It would just be slow. So we'll see. Neville just kept it open and broad, like it's something they're thinking about, but may or may not actually end up executing on. Let's move on to the next question. Here we go. All Hornets must die. What a username. I just want to say thank you for working to expand the internship program a few years ago, helped me land a job and step into the industry during one of the worst times of my life. Changed everything for me. Thank you. This is, wow, just a nice comment. Neville says, awesome, love to hear this. Our interns are fantastic, and the program has been excellent for finding new great talent. Helping folks further their careers is super important, and we love it when our interns join T-Mobile. So there you go. Classic questions. All right, we got, this is the newest question answered 10 minutes ago. Hi, Neville. I used to work at one of the TPR stores in Rapid City. I think that's T-Mobile something stores. And I was wondering if there was going to be any improvements in Western South Dakota in regards to the network. There's a lot of potential new customers being left in places like Spearfish and parts of Rapid City where the coverage isn't great or is non-existent. I think this is harkening back to the days where the T-Mobile network was in its infancy and still growing, and it was affordable, but you had no coverage. Sounds like that is exactly what is going on here in Rapid City, South Dakota. Neville says, we continue to expand our 5G network across the country and promise that South Dakota will not be left behind. Keep an eye out for updates next year. I'm just imagining that, Neville is writing in a notebook, all right, South Dakota, urgent, top priority now. Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal of T-Mobile is to cover as many people as possible and to make the most economic sense as possible. So my guess is that they will focus on areas with more densely packed populations first, especially as they're expanding out their 5G network. I think they want to convince, let's say, people in New York City that their network is fast and reliable and has the capacity for the large number of people who, let's say, live in New York City compared to compared to AT&T or Verizon. So I think those will probably get prioritized first because they can make a lot more money off of that. But hopefully coverage does improve in South Dakota, and we'll see what's going on there. Let's do a quick refresh here and see what we got coming in. Hopefully a few more. Here we go. Doug Debug asks, Tampa Bay market here. We have a lot of concealed monopole sites like flagpoles and skinny poles on top of churches. Sprint had small 8T, 8R Band 41 antennas deployed on many of them, and they are co-located with T-Mobile Band 2, Band 4, Band 12 equipment. I doubt the much wider, massive MIMO 64T, 64R antenna will fit on these sites. These sites are generally located in the middle of dense neighborhoods where standard macro sites are not nearby. Do you plan on reusing smaller 8T8R antennas in these instances, or will they cause too much interference with neighboring mmWave sites? Wow, that is a lot of technical jargon. So Neville says, our plan is to advance our great 5G coverage across the Tampa area, and we will look at all opportunities utilizing both existing and new infrastructure to further this goal. So there you go. We'll answer a couple of questions in the YouTube comments now. We've got Bliff. Hey, Stetson, I'm on AT&T mobile share at the moment, and my parents have decided to switch to unlimited starter soon. I'm worried about the 480p video streaming. Is it worth it to upgrade my line to Elite? Bliff, great question. What I would recommend you keep in mind is that with any cell phone plan, if you get a VPN, this can be my partner ExpressVPN, this can be another even more affordable VPN. When you get a VPN, it hides the network traffic from AT&T. They can't tell what you're watching or consuming, and as a result, when you have that VPN enabled, you can get full 4K video quality streaming on any cell phone plan. I don't have a phone with me right now, which is probably good, but I'll also say that I think 480p is okay on a phone. 1080p is definitely a lot nicer. It's just going to be up to you if you want to spend extra to get that higher definition video. Personally, I feel like I wouldn't. I'm connected to Wi-Fi most of the time and can stream HD content on that and on the network. I'm either streaming just to get the audio, or it's going to be okay if it's in 480p. So I'm big on helping people save money, Bliff. So I would encourage you to save money wherever possible. I would start with unlimited starter because it's more affordable first. Grab a VPN, see if that works for you. If it does, great, problem solved, and it's a little bit cheaper than upgrading to Elite. If you feel like it's not working, then hey, you can upgrade to Elite at any time, so I think that's good. Anonymous is saying, I'm ditching Comcast for T-Mobile home internet. Hopefully it goes well for you. We may have new T-Mobile home internet hardware around the corner, so hopefully you can take advantage of that, and hopefully it works out. So why should I switch to T-Mobile from Verizon? Thank you, Adam. Adam, if you want to ask Neville this question, you can post directly on the T-Mobile Reddit. Okay, there's a link in the video description, so you can post that. I would say T-Mobile probably going to be more affordable than Verizon. It's probably going to have less issues with congestion. And I don't know, like in my market, I get great T-Mobile performance. I get like 500 down literally everywhere across my town because T-Mobile deployed their mid-band N41 5G. And yeah, I'm on a family Magenta Max plan. It's super affordable. So I would look into that. Maybe it's worth trying. And I'll give T-Mobile a shout out here. If we do T-Mobile free trial, what you could consider, Adam, is I'll add this to the stream right now. If you wanted to, you can do a 30-day free trial on T-Mobile. You get 30 gigs of high-speed data. You can either activate via eSIM on an iPhone, and I have a video detailing this on my YouTube channel, or if you're an Android person, you actually get a hotspot. And let's see if it's something like this, and you can just get a hotspot and test out the cellular data network. So that might be the move. Honestly, Adam, you want to get what works for you. If T-Mobile works and it's cheaper, that's awesome. If it doesn't work or it's somehow more expensive, stick with Verizon, all right? And Jonathan is suggesting a VPN that's even more affordable, so there you go. Try that. Boom. $2 a month and takes care of video throttle. Peter's asking, do I still have that Comcast internet? I do have Comcast. Thank you for asking, Peter. And yeah, absolutely, Bliff. Happy to help you out here. Those have been some questions from everyone joining us live. Let's head back now to the Reddit questions so we can see what else Neville has answered. Here we go. Hi, Neville. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how the network is managed and how you keep track of all of those cell sites. There are hundreds of cell sites and even more thousands of sectors, what kind of things can be done remote versus sending someone out to a site? When I experience slow data due to congestion or low signal, are you and your team able to see that right away from your diagnostics, or do you rely more of customer service engineering tickets? This is an interesting question. Neville says, we have a massive and expanding network as we leverage all resources to maintain and advance customer experience. This is a 24/7 operation supported by an extensive engineering team both in our network operation centers and a large team in the field and an extensive suite of network management and analytics tools. And of course, we value all customer input through our customer service teams as well as our retail mobile experts. And let's not forget all that great social media input. So bottom line is, I think T-Mobile wants to make a good network. How do you do this? You listen to customer feedback. They should know, I would hope, their coverage area and what's deployed on each cell site. So they probably have a good idea of where coverage is bad and where they need to improve. Ultimately, I think it's up to them. Like, what do they want to prioritize? Do they want to prioritize, again, building more coverage and expanding capacity in denser cities like New York City or here in Denver, Colorado, or do they want to focus on expanding coverage in more rural areas? So kind of up to them. Oh, wow. And yes, Adika, that's what I said. Neville answered your question, and I featured it on the stream. You're so welcome. That was so cool. And then Glenn, yes, thank you so much. If you want to and you're enjoying this live stream, please click the like button. We're going to be continuing to answer as many questions as possible here. And again, I'll be rewatching this and adding timestamps in the video description so you can rewatch this and jump between the different questions that Neville answers. So let's move on to the next question. Here we have Douglas 9630. This is interesting. It's about the 3G shutdown. For the 3G shutdown happening next year or so, what would be the plan? What would be the plan for customers still using legacy 3G devices or living in areas with only 3G coverage? What are the plans to cover those people or those areas? If we use the spectrum from a 3G CDMA from Sprint and UMTS networks and refarm it to 5G, what speeds could we see for roaming customers? Since AT&T is planning to shut down their 3G soon, what would be the backup plan when it's T-Mobile's turn to turn off 3G? As even though we live in the 5G era, lots of foreign phones don't support US LTE bands. Great question. So, Neville says, our goal and plan is to ensure all customers have the best possible wireless experience, and that means getting them to a modern network and ultimately retiring legacy technology. We're actively reaching out to everyone who could be impacted and making sure they have options for free phone upgrades. Yes, this is the way to do it. It also would have been nice, T-Mobile, to help Dish and Boost Mobile along and giving their customers free phone upgrades as well. But that could have also been a Dish situation as well. So I have a comment from Jonathan. Thanks for doing this stream. You're very welcome, Jonathan. Hopefully you enjoy it. You can keep this on in the background as we continue answering questions from the Reddit AMA. Again, you can ask Neville Ray a question right now yourself at the link in the video description. And yeah, we'll see if he's already answered Hidika's question, which was really awesome. So maybe he'll answer yours as well. Let's go see if we have any new questions coming in. Okay, here we go. Will all Android phones get the 5G Ultra update? I'm assuming this is the 5G Ultra capacity update. I have a OnePlus 7T McLaren. Love it. Waiting for Ultra here in Connecticut. Thanks, Neville. You and Mike Sievert are doing a fantastic job. Oh, this is interesting. Don't think we can make the UC 5G icon work on McLaurin, but that doesn't mean you aren't already enjoying Ultra Capacity 5G. Check our website for Ultra Capacity 5G coverage details. That is really funny. They can't make an icon work on a phone. This is from T-Mobile's head of technology. they can't make the 5G ultra capacity icon work on a phone. So I'm assuming something related to updates and going through OnePlus. That's the best I got, guys. Hi, Insane Fire YouTube and Terminator. Why can't T-Mobile get off their butt to build towers and fix their rural coverage issues? That is a question for Neville Ray. Ask him right now at the Reddit post linked in the video description. This is the Reddit post right here. Just go on here, leave a comment, and yeah, you'll possibly have your question answered. So let's move on to the next one. Here we go. This one's very simple. Yep, great. Oh yeah, we already talked about this earlier. And it's about deploying N41 on small cells. And this user is saying it'd be nice if all the small cells have N41 mmWave, to be honest. And Neville says, yep, great feedback. So hopefully that comes true and T-Mobile's network goes from good to absolutely insanely great. Here we go. This is funny. When you look back on your life, what do you believe to be the most influential decision that led you to where you are today? And Neville says, deciding to come to the U.S. in 1995 on a 90-day consulting contract. Very interesting. I'd be interested to learn more about that experience, Neville, and what it was like for you, and what got you here, and what got you into T-Mobile. I hope someone asked that. Maybe I can ask that, or one of you guys. Let's go back. Boom. This is interesting. My Spaghetti 123. Any advice for someone who wants to get into the industry? Neville says, having a passion for technology sure helps. Study hard and always be learning. And of course, reach out to T-Mobile. So there you go. If you guys want opportunities in the space, consider reaching out to T-Mobile and learning more. We got some feedback here. RFK Tech USA is saying T-Mobile needs to learn how to build a network right. You know, they're trying their best. Maybe they're learning and studying hard, as Neville says. And just want to say hi and thanks so much for this channel. Thanks to you, I finally got an A52 5G and switched to Mint and love it. Just cause I am so happy to hear that. Wow. And bumping in, their customer support is phenomenal and solves something I never could have on my own. I'm so happy to hear that. Hopefully you are enjoying your service and saving a lot of money. And let's jump back now to the Reddit thread. Let's see what we got. I want to applaud Neville. He is a fast typer. Neville, you are quick on the keyboard, my friend. Keeping this live stream active and engaged. Here's what we got. Hi, Neville. In recent interviews, you claim T-Mobile will have 100 megahertz of N41 deployed across the current 200 million pops covered by the end of the year. In many counties, the 2.5 gigahertz is fragmented and other companies lease the band. Do you have any plans to strike a deal with these other companies to get more continuous blocks of spectrum? My county, T-Mobile owns 142 megahertz, but two non-contiguous 40 megahertz blocks are usable. Thank you, Nick. And Neville says, we have a very strong mid-band spectrum position for 5G across the nation and continue to work to enhance our position. Contiguity. Wow, that's all right. That's a new word for me. Contiguity. It's not like continuity. Anyway, contiguity that you reference is a key goal, and NRCA sure helps. I believe NR is 5G Carrier Aggregation. So we're able to aggregate the different blocks of 5G spectrum together. So even though the blocks are not contiguous, you can still utilize all of that spectrum and available capacity. And I think, yeah, that's coming with newer 5G devices. This is honestly almost more of a Qualcomm thing with the newer modems that they've been releasing and deploying. And that's really going to help give carriers access to these new technologies and further improve their networks. So let's go on to the next question. Oh, this is interesting. Why hasn't N41 been launched in standalone mode, large scale like N71? Getting there. Watch this space for announcements next year. So sometime next year, in the next 365 days, actually, as of today, it's probably like 380 days, I want to say. 380 days, we'll learn more about this. Hopefully it's awesome. I'm rooting for you, T-Mobile. Want to see you build an awesome network because competition is always great. Here we go. Next, we're like almost live with him 2 minutes ago. Sugar Cookie Monster. Love that username. Hi, Neville. Thank you for taking the time to do this. First off, I am so impressed at the technical prowess of Redditors. I have no clue what small cells or millimeter waves are, so explain them to me like I'm 5 or the everyday non-technical person that I am. What does this mean for my service on T-Mobile? I think this is a great question. And Neville gives a one-sentence answer. Come on, Neville. You could have dived into way more detail here. Small cells and millimeter wave sites are easy ways to enhance our coverage and performance, speeds in certain areas of the network. If you want a more in-depth answer, that's going to be right here. What are small cells? My understanding are small cells are, when you're building a network, my understanding is you have macro cells, which are like big towers designed to cover as many people as possible. Then you have small cells, which my understanding is to fill in capacity. So if you have a city, you might have some macro cells outside the city and a couple in the city, and you're using small cells within the city on the tops of buildings. Actually, I would say mostly on the rooftops of buildings to increase capacity and speed and performance and reliability within those denser areas. So that's what my current understanding of a small cell is. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. RFK Tech is saying, Neville, don't believe in small cells. Well, we'll see. Maybe there'll be more. And millimeter waves, basically, the way a 5G network works is you're using spectrum or frequencies to broadcast your signal. So the frequencies are broadcast on the spectrum, and the spectrum travels through the air in waves. So like light is a wave, and it travels through the air as a wave. Same thing with spectrum and frequencies. And the millimeter waves are, I believe, just the measurement of the wave is a millimeter because it's high energy and it bounces up and down very quickly, and the waves are small and close together, and that gives them a lot of capacity, or that aspect of it does. So basically, it's the fastest version of 5G with tons of capacity is the answer to that. So there we go. Let's see what we got for the next one. Hopefully my answer was good. I'm not, I try and follow this, but sometimes it is even more complicated than I know. Oh, actually, I missed one. Here we go. Stay Frosty, says, how will you make sure that congestion doesn't ruin the experience of your amazing 5G to either deprioritized home internet users or smartphone users, possibly even both at the same time? Neville says, we're building the largest high-capacity 5G network in the US and are excited to support both our mobility and home internet customers. Doesn't answer the question, really. I think, honestly, well, maybe it does. Like, the answer here is high capacity. They're focused on building out a network that has capacity so you do not notice the deprioritized speeds. And I will say, with a caveat, that average users will not notice the deprioritized speeds. Why do I say that? Because even if you are on T-Mobile home internet, you will notice deprioritization. You'll notice when your cell site has more customers connected to it at a time, your speeds will be slower. But you'll only likely notice those slower speeds if you're actively running speed tests throughout the day to test that out. I think for most people, if they're getting 25 to 50 megabits per second down and maybe 10 to 20 megabits per second up, they're going to do everything they want to do on their internet. They're going to be totally fine, and they may not notice really any differences in the performance. So there you go. We'll see. They're just trying to solve this with capacity. RFK Tech Neville is fibbing. What are you supposed to say? This is like a very public thing. He's trying to provide the best answers possible from a very diplomatic and strategic answer. So we'll go there. All right. Boom. Next question. Oh, this is my question. Thank you, Neville. Wow. I feel honored. So I asked, when do you think T-Mobile will stop selling devices that are LTE only and won't work with 5G? Neville says, we don't sell many today, and the vast majority of our customers are buying great 5G phones to leverage our great 5G network. I asked when. There's no answer here. It's I don't know, soon. It's a very, very strategic answer, is what I would say. My guess, I think we talked with Sasha Segan, who honestly has a better answer than Neville does here, which is probably in 2022, they're going to want to stop selling LTE devices at all. So that's my guess. I think the only lingering ones might be like smartwatches and wearables. And I guess, will the next Apple Watch be 5G? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you for answering my question, though, either way. Neville, I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to do that. So let's see what else we got. I think that is what we have right now. We're up to date on everything. And yeah, if you're on T-Mobile, I would definitely recommend getting a 5G phone. So let's answer some of your questions here on the YouTubes as we're waiting for Neville to come in with any more answers for us. That was kind of awkward, you guys. I hit the command refresh button to refresh the T-Mobile Reddit page, but I had my cursor on the wrong window, so I refreshed this, and well, what do you know? I left. So pro move right there. But yeah, what do we got here? Tim, apologize. Yeah, no, that was me. I accidentally refreshed the wrong window. Yeah, happened. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Yes, Toronto plane spotting. Hello from Canada. Welcome. So great to have you here. Are they going to stop me from using LTE, though? 5G is a battery hog. Victor, great question. They are not going to stop you from using LTE. Considering how long we've had the 3G networks up, you will be able to use LTE for a long time. That said, carriers may reallocate resources from LTE to 5G, so you may start to notice you will be getting faster and better speeds on 5G versus on LTE. And I know that Qualcomm, Apple, and anyone who makes phones with modems is working really hard to make sure that 5G is battery efficient and won't drain your battery like it might be doing right now. Thank you, Glenn. Yes, I am refreshed. I'm having some tea right now. Dennis is at work. Great question. And we will probably go live, I think, tomorrow for Patreon supporters on the Best Phone Plans podcast channel. So stay tuned for that. Let's see what else we got. Is that it? We've been almost live for an hour. So can you look at my question at 4:45? Oh, is that 45? Sorry, who's that? Tech Twan be unboxing. Oh, here we go. Thank you for asking this question, Tech Twan, and I'm happy to answer it. I have a question about a 5G phone and live in my, sorry, I'm misreading that. I have a question. I have a 5G phone and live in my area, Virginia Beach, Virginia. My 5G runs really slow, but when I change the network to 4G LTE, it runs fast on T-Mobile. So my guess here is what's happening is you're connected to low band 5G, which is what Neville was saying is their, I forget the actual branding of it, but it's like, this is the low band 5G is what T-Mobile uses for coverage. They just want to blanket the US in this stuff so you get a 5G icon in the status bar of your phone, which it sounds like is happening for you. Unfortunately, with low band 5G right now, you're not necessarily getting capacity. In fact, as you've noticed, LTE often has faster speeds. So I would say keep your phone in LTE mode and enjoy those faster speeds on LTE, and maybe occasionally switch into 5G and run some speed tests to see how it's changed or improved. Yeah, there it is. Derek, thank you. Extended range. I was blanking on that. But yeah, they want the coverage. So there you go. Let's see what else we got here. Sandy Kirk says, I'm in Pittsburgh and I get some crappy coverage. You and Dennis, my friend. My friend Dennis is also in Pittsburgh, co-host of the Best Phone Plans podcast channel. And yeah, apparently T-Mobile isn't great in that area. So, oh, here we go. We got some new answers from Neville, so I'm going to jump back into that. And Peter, I'll shoot you a message, my friend. Maybe, oh, okay, cool. We'll see. Let's actually jump back into questions here. Actually, Peter says, I'm just happy you can get calls in Pittsburgh. So let's add the Q&A back to the stream, and we can dive into some more answers from Neville. Here we go. This is a great question from My Spaghetti. I feel like I said that, My Spaghetti 1, 2. Anyway, is there anything that can be done to reduce the latency when roaming? Is there a different way to do data roaming other than sending all traffic back to the US? Yes, this is a huge problem for T-Mobile right now, where if you're abroad, yes, you get free international data up to 256 kilobits per second on Magenta Max, 128 kilobits per second on Magenta, but there's a but, all traffic. And even if you pay for a high-speed international add-on, all traffic is being sent back to the US, which gives you very high ping times and very high latency. Is there something that can be done about this? Neville says, we are continually working to enhance our Simple Global with all of our international roaming partners and to explore new ways to advance our services. Appreciate the feedback, and we'll take this back. Again, a very appropriate business response here. Basically saying nothing, saying something without actually saying anything at all. So, great question. We have a question. I'll take this question from Green here. Green, thank you so much for your continued support and for the super chat, my friend. When do you think T-Mobile will start deploying mmWave more widely? And where has T-Mobile deployed mmWave already? Two answers for this. Based on Neville's previous response, and again, I'll rewatch this video and add timestamps, I don't think mmWave is really going to be a focus for them. It's going to be part of their strategy in stadiums, maybe in airports, maybe in certain very congested markets. I don't really feel like they're going to be focusing on it. I think their primary focus is going to be getting N41 out as broadly as possible and really trying to take the lead with that. I think that's going to provide the coverage and the capacity they're looking for to really give their network an edge or an advantage over Verizon, AT&T. And whereas T-Mobile deployed mmWave already, I'm 90% sure there's one deployment in New York City. I have absolutely no idea beyond that, and I don't even know how to find it. Like, you would need to go on the RootMetrics coverage app and just like click on hexagons until you find one that's over. And you can hit, the problem is you can hit over 1,000 megabits per second on N41. So you would need like multi-gigabit per second speeds, maybe 1,500, in order to confirm that's actually a mmWave site. So hopefully that's helpful. We're gonna jump back, see what else Neville has to say now. Here we go. Hey Neville, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I think it's important for companies to talk directly with their customers, and I like that T-Mobile is trying to do that. So my question is, what steps are being taken to improve the reliability and coverage of the network? I noticed that my signal, unless I am in a major city, is not very optimal, even on a brand new flagship, even on a new brand name flagship phone. Is it possible to enable a reliable low speed, reliable high speed over 10 megabits per second? I think. Anyway, is it possible to enable a reliable low speed greater than 10 meg? I don't know. I'm assuming it's just like you want reliable speeds greater than 10 megabits per second network that just reaches more places at a consistent rate beyond the 600 megahertz band is doing. This is an interesting question. Neville says, we continue to expand the breadth and depth of our extensive 5G network. This is not typical, so I'll give my team a reach out to get more details from you. I don't know. I feel like that's typical, Neville. Like, if you're in a city, you're getting better coverage. If you're in a rural area, odds are you're getting worse coverage. So oh man, RFK Tech, throw in some heat. That's all good. I like supporting. Interesting. This is a great insight from Peter. Talking with some people at T-Mobile, they're aiming for around Q3 next year to give extra capacity after they start carrier aggregating the N41 once they realize there is no congestion issue with it. That's awesome. That's awesome. We should be asking Peter these network questions. instead of Neville. But I think it's been interesting. Let's see what else we got. Let me make sure I'm on the right page again. Ah, that's it. He's peacing out 3 minutes ago. Thank you for all the awesome questions. Unfortunately, it's time for me to wrap up the AMA, but keep an eye out for more T-Mobile 5G for all updates from me under u/Neville Ray T-Mobile. That was great. It was really funny again. That was from T-Mobile. And Neville Ray's last post was from 2 years ago. So there you go. That's it. That's a wrap. That was the live stream, or at least the live Q&A from Neville. I'll hang out here for a little bit and answer some of your questions, and see if we can clarify some things. So yeah, I think that was pretty good, Neville. That was great. Banged out some answers. A lot of typing. Give those wrists a stretch. I know it can be a lot. So, yeah, that's it. Again, you can take a look at all of these questions and answers here. I'll throw a link. It's in the video description. And again, I'll be rewatching this and adding timestamps. I got to hold myself accountable to that. So I've mentioned it probably 5 times here. If you all watching, all 90 of you watching, first of all, click the like button if you enjoyed this. Second of all, if you have a question, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, whatever, I'm here. I'm happy to answer it and see where we can go. What would be considered too far for a tower to reach? That is a great question. I truthfully don't 100% know the answer, but I do know it depends a lot on what frequencies that tower is broadcasting. If you've got low band spectrum, I imagine it can go a few miles. If you've got mmWave, you're looking at like 100 meters or feet. So, ooh, interesting. Austin is saying something has happened lately. I had to turn off 5G completely to get a consistent connection. Austin, I feel like that is unusual. For T-Mobile performance in your area. Usually it's pretty good, but it sounds like maybe they're working on developing their network, moving to standalone 5G. Here we go. What else we got? RFK Tech. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the comments. And yeah, great to be here. And yeah, as I was mentioning, depends on antenna height and frequency band. Oh, what is the fastest LTE speed you got? I've gotten 500 megabits per second on Rogers in Canada. Toronto plane spotting, that is a great question. On LTE, I think the fastest I can remember is maybe 350 megabits per second. I want to see on AT&T. AT&T does a great job with carrier aggregation, which is, again, where you basically add up the different channels of spectrum for a combined greater capacity and faster speed. So I think around 350 on AT&T. Peter chiming in, for tower reach, you need to consider frequency and market restrictions. And yeah, 100%. Got him. Says, I get band 2 off of it, and I think it's a 300-foot tower. That's interesting. Oh, interesting. I'm 2.5 miles from a T-Mobile tower, and they told me I'm too far. So and yeah, Austin's saying, don't forget, if you join the top tier Patreon, we're sending free t-shirts. We actually have to send out a few more for the holidays, but I have one that says best phone plans on right now. We have a nice 5G one. And if I set everything up on YouTube correctly, you can actually preview some of the merch below this video. So what else we got? Dick Fitzwell is saying T-Mobile phone call voice quality is bad. Did they get rid of voice over LTE? I'm sorry to hear that. They did not get rid of voice over LTE, and I'm not 100% sure what is going on in your area. But if it's really impacting you, then I don't know, maybe switch to a different provider for a couple of months and then give T-Mobile a try again. Nazar Mark is saying, I just changed from Cricket Wireless to US Mobile GSM, but 5G is not working. Do you know anything about that? But it's faster than Cricket Wireless 5G. That's really funny. All right, so I would say that, US Mobile 5G on GSM is using the T-Mobile network, and it likely has to do with your APN settings to get that configured and working properly. I'm not 100% sure right now of what you need to do, and I apologize for that, but I can definitely take a look at that for you in the future. Some undetermined time, I have to sign up and get activated again, but we'll see. Interesting. Sandy Kirk is saying, I never use my smartphone from T-Mobile for calls. They can drop all of the time. I honestly haven't had a problem with that, so I don't know what's going on. Dick is saying, I just switched from T-Mobile to Verizon. Oh, from Verizon. Well, I mean, if it's cheaper, if it's good, you just got to test it out. That's the thing with these networks. Nick asks, how do you guys determine what band you are using? There is an app on, well, first of all, Nick, are you an iPhone or Android person? iPhone, you can go into, what do you call that? It's service cell mode, I think it is, or service mode. And you have to dial, it's like star pound. I can't even remember right now, Nick. But anyway, you have to dial, I'm going to Google it for you. You have to dial this. Here we go. Boom. You have to dial this number right here. Star 3001 pound 12345 pound star. This will bring you into field test mode, and that will let you know what band you are connected to. And on Android, you can do it on a Galaxy or by getting an app like Network Signal Guru or NetMonster. I think there's one that's just like Cell Mapper will do it. So there you go. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, and Android, I think that's supposed to be pound star 0011 pound. But yeah, Nick, there you go. Hopefully that helps. Check it out. There's definitely videos online. Signal Checker Pro. Yeah, that's what it is, Peter. That's probably my number one fave right now. And that is what we got. So, oh, wow. Green, thank you very much for your kind support and the super chat. Do you think that T-Mobile will be forced to extend the 3G shutdown because of Dish request more time because of the language in the merger agreement? They might. I think they've already pushed it back a couple of times. I think, honestly, I've gone back and forth on this. I feel like right now, this is Dish just wanting to be cheap. Like, the solution here is very easy. You give all Dish customers a 4G LTE compatible phone. And considering that Dish is selling the Boost Celero 5G phone for, let's see, check this out. They're selling this 5G phone for $140. I feel like it should be possible to send their customers an affordable LTE phone for free. So, look, the shutdown might be postponed, but ultimately I think it's kind of on Dish at this point. So, got the 560. Oh, 560. That's amazing. Those are super fast speeds. My website seems to be down. I hope not. It's up for me. Is it not working for you? Best cell phone plans? The Celero is $99 at Walmart. The phone is cheap enough to be given away. Yeah, it's a very low cost budget option, but I filmed my unboxing first impressions video of it today, and I got over 500, almost 600 megabits per second down on 5G. So it's no joke to some degree. Like, it's a very cheap 5G phone, but yeah, I think the quality could be improved. r/teenagers is saying the phone is basically trash. Yeah, it's an affordable, low-cost option, which I appreciate. I was kind of in the mindset like I would rather get a Pixel 4, which you can currently find for about $144 on Swappa, over the Celero 5G. Yeah, you're missing out on 5G, but I think the overall phone experience is way, way better. So that's what I've got. Glenn, who makes this device? Glenn, so it's a Boost branded phone. Okay, I'll pull this up for you. It's basically branded by Boost Mobile, sold by Boost Mobile. It's not available anywhere else. But I think, let me pull this down and try and get an accurate answer for you. Punching into Google. Here we go. This device, as reported by Mike, actually, this is an article from Light Reading from Mike Dano. I will put this in the live chat right now so you guys can check it out. But the company, or excuse me, the research firm Strategy Analytics reported that the manufacturer of the phone is WingTech. So it's made by WingTech. It's using a MediaTek processor inside of it, and yeah, it's basically a budget 5G phone, and it's like a cool option. It's not going to be for everyone, and there you go. Yeah. Oh, Eduardo. You guys are on it. I'm like over here Googling stuff. What else do we got? Thank you, RFK Tech. How fast my channel has grown. Thank you very much. And if you're enjoying this right now, please consider hitting the like button. It really does help support the channel. Oh, interesting. r/teenagers coming in saying WingTech makes most Carrier branded phones right now. Even the Visible Midnight is made by WingTech. That explains a lot. Do you know if they're using all MediaTek processors? Uh-oh. Glenn just said MediaTek. Enough said. And we have a saying here, friends don't let friends use MediaTek. But MediaTek they're in a lot of devices. So we'll see. But yeah, that's really interesting. I know they made the Visible Midnight. Do you know if they're making the Revel, T-Mobile Revel 5G? Or who's making that? It's weird. All these Carrier branded phones. Not sure I'm a fan. Ooh, this is good, Eduardo. I'd recommend a person get the N200 or maybe the A32 5G. I think I agree with you. I think the A32 5G is just going to be a really great experience, especially with the bands that Samsung usually puts in their phones. David Norton is asking, is the iPhone 12 Pro Max 5G carrier aggregation capable? My current understanding is no, it is not, because it is using the Qualcomm X55 modem, and I believe you need the Qualcomm X60 modem, which is in the new iPhone 13 series of devices. So I think that's one of the new features for the X60 modem. Still, you should get like great 5G speed and performance on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Like, still a phenomenal phone. I wouldn't upgrade just for that. But there you go. Wow, r/teenagers coming in hot with all this. I'm learning a lot today. This is like my personal Q&A. T-Mobile Revel is also WingTech. There's like this underground company not underground, but this company that I didn't know of until literally today, making a lot of phones. Interesting. Benton is saying he thinks it's TCL that makes the Revel. So could be WingTech. My guess is probably WingTech. And yeah, RFK Tech is backing up what I just said. You need the X60 or X65 modems, and we will see what Samsung does, because they're using their Exynos modems for a while. Oh yeah, and Eduardo is saying Carlos S. Tech has been giving away the Galaxy A32 for boost. So I think there we go. Oh, TCL makes the Revel. All right, and I guess WingTech is just, they make things for other devices. Interesting. So r/teenager is saying they put whatever chips the carrier wants, I think. T-Mobile Revel is made by WingTech. Visible Midnight, WingTech. Celero is WingTech. I think AT&T 5G/4G phone is also WingTech. Interesting. Eduardo saying the Revel shows up as WingTech in our UPC registry. Huh. Benton is indicating likely where the confusion is coming from. There's a TCL on Metro that looks like it, and that is probably what the situation is. One of the previous Revels was made by TCL, but the free one now with T-Mobile is WingTech, so they move suppliers. Thank you, Jeb. I really appreciate that extra information. But yeah, I think, like, I don't know. How do you guys feel about budget phones? I think it's cool to have options, but the truth for me is I feel like getting a Galaxy S9, a Pixel 4, Pixel 4a 5G, I think would be a better option in my move. Sandy Kirk, what do you think about Motorola phones? I like Motorola's software. I think they do a great job keeping it clean. I like how the phones tend to be more affordable. And yeah, generally I tend to like them, but it's kind of what's up for you, personal preference. Niso says, I have 2 years of goofy text that shows how uninformed T-Mobile really is. Stetchen should interview me. Great channel, by the way. Thank you so much, Niso Graphics. I really appreciate that. Hopefully T-Mobile becomes more educated. I know Neville didn't answer this at all, but when you're building a customer service and support team, like, it is challenging to get all the documentation together to keep everything updated and to make sure the reps know what's current. So I can easily see how it's possible for people to get confused or accidentally provide outdated or incorrect information. And RFK saying budget's too watered down. Wow. Eduardo is saying Walmart is selling the Revel for $25 with no contract if you add a line on T-Mobile. Granted, you are adding a line on T-Mobile, which, depending on your plan, is probably $30 to $40 extra per month, which is like $400 per year. So I don't know. That $25 phone seems to add up pretty quickly. Of course, hi to our friend Debo Pop. Welcome. Great to see you as always. And Glenn, yeah, refurb iPhone or budget Samsung phone will give you a much happier experience in the long run. I like that, Glenn. I like that phrasing, a much happier experience. I am 110% with you. I think that's just the way to go. Oh yeah, this is a really good point from Pino Yuck. This is a really good point from Pino. All right. Budget phones only have 2 5G bands compared to flagship phones with 4 to 5 bands. Really important distinction. Yeah. So you're just getting, even if it's an older 4G phone, you're getting better cellular performance on 4G LTE. You're getting, I think, a better phone, better camera for sure. I'll have a video up soon, but the camera app for me was definitely kind of lagging and slow. So something to keep in mind there. R/teenagers is saying Motorola budget phones have issues with RAM management. The Moto G Pure sucks at RAM management, so the Visible Midnight beats it. I'm surprised to hear that. Yeah. Sandy Kirk, thank you very much for all you do. Sandy, thank you for tuning in, watching, subscribing, hitting the like button, and honestly, just tuning in, sharing comments. Really appreciate it. Debo Pop, yeah, I decided to do a T-Mobile live stream today, answer all the questions that Neville was asking, or read out verbally what Neville was asking, to put it in an online video format that people could watch and read through. And so Dennis was at work, and so it just didn't happen. But we will be going live tomorrow, per usual, for Patreon supporters for the podcast, and maybe on Thursday as well. Interesting. Budget phones usually have 4 to 6 year old tech. So in my opinion, it almost makes sense to get a 3-year-old flagship, because then you're getting newer tech and better. If you have a 5G phone without band 71416662, don't get T-Mobile. What's interesting is the Boost Cellero 5G actually does support all of those bands. Like, I'm surprised. It's like, from a band perspective, pretty good. Mike Dano is saying, notably, Boost's new Cellero 5G phone will connect to T-Mobile's speedy mid-band 5G network. Dish officials confirmed the phone supports 5G on band N66, N71, N25, and N41. So the bands are there, but the overall performance may not be. Toronto plane spotting. Do you think more MVNOs come to Canada? Oh man, I'm sorry, man, but like, Toronto plane spotting, I don't think Canada is looking good for MVNOs right now. I think, yeah, I don't know. They want to be there. Believe me, they want to be there. But I think the major networks, Bell, TELUS, Rogers, I don't think they want them. So there you go. Oh, Benton is saying the 5G Ace. Is this the Moto one? The Moto 5G Ace has been a great device from what customers have told me. That's good to know. Oh, and Verizon gives Kentucky tornado victims free cell service. We're learning a lot here. Learning a lot. So here we go. We'll answer a couple more questions, and I'm going to call it and try and add some timestamps as quickly as possible to anyone who's rewatching this and wants to get all the details. So, Chame asking, should I get the S22 lowest tier or the S21 FE? This is a great question. I can't answer that until the S22 comes out. My gut instinct, though, Chame, would be to get the S22 because you'll be getting the newer modem from Qualcomm, likely the X65, and I think that would be awesome. I think that would last a really long time. It'd be really good, and you're getting the camera improvements, the battery, whatever, the new design. So I would consider doing that. I think the S21 FE honestly isn't really worth it. I would just grab a used S21 on Swappa or something and get a really great deal on that. But we won't really know until the S22 is official and is out. MS. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Great stream. Thanks, Stetson. Thanks for all you do. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, MS. Thank you for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. And Eduardo, great point. Canadian brothers should try Google Fi with a US number, but Google Fi actually, I think, has started restricting accounts who use too much of their cellular data or service outside the United States. So it might not be as viable as an option as it previously could have been. S22 Ultra will be the best Android out. Likely will for the time being. And we'll see what else comes out later in the year. Honestly, yeah, I think S21 held up really well. I liked it. I know Dennis didn't feel like it was the best, but that's okay. And yeah, Michael, look. High five. Galaxy S10 5G. Way to, hey, using a phone, works for you, getting great value out of it. That is what I like to hear. All right, I'll officially end at 5:30 Eastern time. If you guys want to sneak in a couple more comments here, and I'll see how quickly I can rewatch this and add in timestamps. But yeah, this has been fun. I kind of spontaneously decided to do it, as you can tell by the fact that I made the stream 10 minutes after the live commenting went live. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool for T-Mobile and Neville to do that, and hopefully this video just helps more people become more aware of it. Andy, great to have you here. Yeah, I will try and make time. I think I've said I'll make timestamps like 20 times now, so I don't want to say it again, but I will be rewatching this myself and adding in as many timestamps as possible. S20 FE, best value prop from Samsung. I believe it, Eduardo. I mean, I would, like, for Samsung, their used phones devalue so quickly. I would always check on Swappa and see what they're going for. Like, I'll do this right now just so we can get some perspective on what we're looking at here. Let's do S21. S25. Look at this, guys. This is unreal. This is going for $440. Okay? That is outstanding. It's such a good value. What else do we got? S21 FE. You can get the Ultra for $655. Like, here's the thing. I know we just, like, the Pixel just came out, but man, a Galaxy S21 Ultra for $680, that's a steal. That's a steal. And we actually have some $655 mint. I mean, how could you say no to that? It's just such a good value. Such a good value. This is why I'm all about buying used. Samsung phones tend to depreciate pretty quickly here. Interesting, it had an Xfinity Mobile startup. That concerns me a little bit for that one, but I'd probably go elsewhere. But either way, I mean, 680, like, that's freaking phenomenal. And should we do like a S20 FE? $300. That's what it's starting at. $345. Wow, like, dang, it's a great value. Anyway, that's why I'm big on shopping used. What we got here? S20 FE. Just saying I was planning to just wait for the S21 FE, but decided just to get the A52 5G since it's one of the few upper tier phones that still have a headphone jack. Sounds like a great move. I would honestly be interested in checking that out. I don't trust used tech. I fully understand that. It's not for everyone. I think it can be a great value. I've bought and sold enough times on Swappa that I feel confident in the platform. I think the biggest risk is battery health. But yeah. Sounds like RFK Tech is going to be going live Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, if you want to check that out. There you all go. And Albertizzi, I traded in my broken S20 FE for a Pixel 6 Pro at Verizon, They gave him $800 of credit. Wow, Albertizzi, that is awesome. The S20 FE cost me $500 last year. Too good. Too good. What a nice story. And I guess this will be the final question of the stream. I got to round things out here. I'm going to move from Mint Mobile to T-Mobile Essentials. Do you recommend that? Diego, I'm curious to learn why you are considering switching from Mint Mobile to T-Mobile Essentials. I don't have anything necessarily against it, but I will say that T-Mobile Essentials is deprioritized, so it's the exact same priority as Mint Mobile on the network. Like, they're both here. You have Magenta up here, and then also Magenta Max, but then Essentials is down here, same level as Mint. So you're not getting anything in network priority, you're just getting unlimited data. And in that case, like, maybe consider going with Metro by T-Mobile if you want something more affordable, or you want T-Mobile prepaid unlimited is going to be more affordable than a lot. Like, that's probably the best example. Like, I'll use my website and just pull this up quickly. T-Mobile prepaid and T-Mobile. And let me just slap this so we can get a side-by-side view going on. Thank you for your patience here. And bada bing, bada boom, we got it. Check this out. We got T-Mobile prepaid. Let's go $50 a month unlimited plan. This is the same as T-Mobile Essentials, which is $60 a month. Okay, like, you're getting the exact same thing for $10 less. Okay, so that's prepaid. Or if you wanted to spend the same amount as T-Mobile Essentials, you can get the $60 prepaid plan, which actually gives you 10 gigs of high-speed hotspot data. This is a better plan for the same price than T-Mobile Essentials, and that's T-Mobile prepaid. So I would consider sticking with Mint Mobile if it works for you, because it's the cheapest, and I'm big on helping people save money. But if you wanted to get an unlimited plan, I think you're going to get a better value on T-Mobile prepaid, and this is priority data, okay? This is priority. T-Mobile Essentials is deprioritized. So your speeds could be slow when the network is congested. Food for thought. Devo Bob, I currently have 17 terabytes in Google Drive right now. So there we go. Ha! Peter, thank you. Stetson site is so good. I used it in a paper. I really appreciate that. And I think that is where I'm going to end it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the T-Mobile network, what Neville Ray had to say, and hopefully you enjoyed this kind of spontaneous and fun live stream. I'm Stetson. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the like button, share this with a friend, and let me know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. So thank you all. Please enjoy the rest of your Monday, the rest of your week, and have a happy holiday season. Cheers, everyone.